faculty members and scholars, PhD scholars, which is organized from 27 February 2025 to March 19, 2025. Out of these 3 weeks, 2 weeks are offline and 1 week is online. The importance of social science research has significantly increased in the recent years, especially in developing countries like India. Modern tools, techniques, and methodologies have been developed, and then those have been used by the researchers, which have helped a lot for the research, policy making, as well as planning community. Numerous of platforms like Science Direct, ResearchGate, Academia, and JSTOR, and so on, have produced tons of literature in a single window, so that a researcher can easily go through them and review the material. Meanwhile, at the national level, data sets like NSSO, NFHS, RBI, CSO, and census, and so on, have helped a lot for the data processing as well as data presentations. Further, at the international level, UNDP, WHO, World Bank, WITS offers a systematic time-series data sets, which have also helped a lot for in the data process, in the data segment. Then, with respect to collection of primary data, there are huge applications starting from Google Forms, Kobo, and then SurveyMonkey, ODS, and so on. There are a number of softwares are there. They have helped a lot, which makes paperless, accurate, scientific, as well as the time saving and resource saving softwares have been developed. And then with respect to the data processing, SPSS is there, Excel, SPSS, data is there, R is there. There are a number of softwares. They have also helped researchers in a numerous way. Along with that, QGIS, ArcGIS softwares are there, which have helped for making thematic maps as well as geotagging, along with satellite picture satellite picture analysis, that have also helped researchers and policymakers in a numerous way. Despite these advantages, the use of modern tools by the Indian PhD scholars as well as researchers is relatively low due to adequate training and knowledge about these programs. To address this gap, CMD has been organizing various training programs from its starting in 1991, and then recently we have mostly concentrated on the use of modern tools in social science research. The major focus of this program is mainly 3 major focuses on major key themes. They are review of literature, how to do the review of literature with the use of these tools and techniques, and then secondary data collection in different sources and processing them with the SPSS and QGIS softwares. Further, primary data collection. Our focus will be on Kobo, and then processing of the primary data through the SPSS and QGIS. Further, report writing session will be there, where the report, how the systematic report and scientific research report can be written. The objective of this training program is to train the scholars using the digital tools for effective literature review, saving the time, energy, and resources. To equip the participants with skills for paperless fieldwork using Kobo software. Further, to provide hands-on training with the QGIS software. To teach the participants SPSS technique for data analysis, including starting from averages, percentages, cross tabulations, regression, t-test, chi-square test, and then construction of indices along with graphs preparation in SPSS. Further, to help the scholars to conduct systematic scientific research within the reasonable time frame, minimizing the field of time. This program is fully participatory, requiring regular practice of the thought methods. Then participant must be present for all the classes that we have inquired. We have in the rigorous rounds of 4 we have asked him whether he will be continuing for all the classes, then we have chosen him. We have got around 150 applicants, then our limit was only to take 30 candidates. We have extended it up to the 45 due to huge demand. Then there is no registration charges for this program. This program is, as I have already told at the initial, this program is sponsored by Indian Council for Social Science Research, New Delhi. We are going to provide all the days tiffins and breakfast and tea. Along with that, outstation candidates we have been provided with the lunch and accommodation. Further target groups are younger social science researchers. That, as I already told, 2 weeks are offline and then 1 week is online. This is the brief about the program. I hope you will enjoy the learning process. And then this is not only a teaching learning process, this is the interaction process throughout our journey of these 3 weeks. Once again, I welcome you once again for this training program, and then a hearty welcome to you. Now I request Dr. Brahmananda to introduce the chief guest. Thank you.
At the outset, I thank my director, Mr. Prabhuji, as well as the course coordinator, Dr. Sidhuji, giving me an opportunity to introduce the senior faculty member in Karnataka University. As my colleague, Dr. Sidhulinga Swami has said that Madam is a former professor. I don't consider as a former professor because the kind of activities, she just not a teacher, she is a trainer for the many national as well as international activities like counseling and giving training to the different aspects. With this, I introduce Madam Vijayalakshmi Amin Babu. She was a former professor and chairperson in the Department of Psychology. She is an expert in counseling, guidance and organizational behavior. In addition to that, I am very thankful to her because I also concentrate on women. She is a pet subject is women and child, which is a very important subject in Indian society. I don't know how many girl students are there, but she is an expert in that area also. I am thankful to her and sharing, since she is a trainer, counselor and not only teacher. So in a program like this, I am very, very thankful and very, very happy to feel that the program would be starting with a trainer, well-versed trainer for this program as an initiation. And she is also guided more than 18 students. Out of it, 4 are in the process of completing their PhDs. And to her credit, she has published more than 80 publications, both national and international journals. And I am so happy that to her credit, she has also published 2 books with a renowned publishers. And she has visited countries like Hungary, Canada, Budapest, and she has received a Best Paper Award in an international conference in IAAP, which was held in Bangalore in 1999. It is an inspiration to my colleague and myself also. Okay, and she is also associated with the one of the premier institution in India, that is Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, which is a research and training institution in Shimla, where the Shimla agreement was signed between Britishers and Indians before independence. So that she was also associated with that institution between 96 to 99. That is a very, very privilege, and I feel very, very proud also being a guest of special guest as chief guest of this occasion. And she also member as well as a chairman of Internal Complaint Committee of Karnataka University, and she is a member of Karnataka State Rural Development Panchayat Raj University, which is there in Qatar, which is a training institution I believe it is a training institution which trains the elected representatives as well as the government officials. And it is a, I hope in her lecture these things will be giving a input and how it can proceed further. That is what we will be learning her. And she is a member of many professional organizations as well as editorial member in many national and international journals. She is a member of, she has organized 48th National Conference IAAP as well as 17th International Conference here in Karnataka, KUD. She was a syndicate member from Karnataka University from 2017 to 2019. And it is also, in addition to that, she discharged as a registrar Karnataka University on 2 occasions. And also, she was with this small brief, I am very, very thankful to with a wider experience. I am sure you will be a ice-breaking for us, not just for the participants. You are a ice-breaking for us, and you will enlighten us with your whatever the lecture you are going to deliver on this auspicious first day of this training program. Thank you so much to Director Staff as well as Sidhu Staff.
Thank you very much, Dr. Brahmananam. Now, the inauguration to lighting the lamp by the GPS.
Jitir, aja. Foto. Thank you very much, madam, and thank you all of you. Now, introduction about the participants, so that we'll introduce ourselves, so that who are who one will come to know. So first, myself only introduce, and then I think we start from here. That will be good, I think. Myself, Dr. S.V. Angodiman, working as a faculty member CMD at Harvard, and the post coordinator for this training program.
I'm Dr. Narayana, working for Organization of Panchayat Raj Chair at CMDR. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Bindapa Bellakno. I'm working here as assistant professor. I'm basically a man of social work.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Ganesh Domdi. I presently work as an assistant professor of commerce at Government First Degree College, Navalgund, and I am also pursuing my PhD as a part-time candidate at Karnataka University. Thank you. Subject? Commerce.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mahantesh Tambake. I am an assistant professor of commerce working in Government First Degree College, Yargatti. and also pursuing my PhD as a part-time candidate in Karnataka University, Dharwad, BC Department of Studies in Commerce, under the guidance of Dr. Ian Tamburingan. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Lagide Arun Kumar Raju, and I am from Tirupati, and I am pursuing my PhD in law from Central University of Karnataka.
Good morning everyone, I am Rohit Talwar, BC Department of Commerce, Karnataka University, Dharwad. I am doing full-time research under the guidance of Dr. Chandramaya. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Anand Pujari from Karnataka University, Department of Economics. I am doing PhD scholar.
Good morning everyone. My name is Almesh, Research Scholar of Department of Economics, USKB, Ballari.
Good morning to all. My name is Shivappa Ajur. I am a research scholar in Kannada University Development Department.
Yeah, good morning everyone all. Myself Ayub Khan, I am a research scholar from Geetham University, Bangalore. I am pursuing my PhD. My specialization is entrepreneurship. My research areas.
Good morning everybody. Myself Ahmad Rifai from Kerala. I have enrolled as an advocate in 2018 on High Court of Kerala. I have completed PG in criminal law from Kannur University from Kerala itself, and I have practiced as an advocate in District Court as well as Kerala High Court, and worked as an assistant professor in law in Calicut University at Kerala State. Now I am pursuing my PhD in criminal law, especially in criminal trial in POCSO cases from Central University of Karnataka, Kulbari. Thank you for selecting me in this program.
Good morning everyone. My name is Aditya Madhav. I am from Andhra Pradesh. I am doing my PhD in Department of Law, Central University of Karnataka, Kalburgi.
Morning all. I am Jagdish Neelam Manawar from the Karnataka Folklore University, Kodagodi, Department of the Economics. I already registered under the on the title of the labor dynamics in Karnataka, landlessness and agricultural laborers in Haveri district, under the guidance of the Dr. Tejas in Economic, KEA, Bangalore.
Good morning to all. I am Dr. Numan. I am associate professor in this institution.
My name is Basava Prabhu Jirli. Basically, I am a student of agriculture. Agricultural extension is my specialization. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. My name is Sima Kulkarni. I am working as a research assistant plus students on annual professor in same.
Kalburgi, under guidance,
Subject?
Economics.
Good morning everyone. My name is Arnithan Kumar Nayak, Research Scholar, Department of Studies in Economics, Davangere University, under the guidance R. Selvi.
Good morning everyone. My name is Sadashiv, Research Scholar, Department of Studies in Economics, Davangere University, under the guidance of Girish DH.
Good morning everybody. I am Rajeshri, Research Scholar, Department of Studies in Economics, Davangere University, Davangere. I am under the guidance of Dr. R. Selvi.
Good morning everyone. I am Dr. Drugappa, Associate Professor from Government Freshwater College, Modigiri. I completed the doctorate from Professor Akash Ranicharam University. And because of updating the technologies, just I joined these courses. Thank you.
Subject to commerce.
Good morning to you all. Myself, Nagesh Kisagar, working as a lecturer in economics in Government Freshwater College,
A very good morning to all Indo. My name is Manijakshi Sirigurage. I am coming from Department of Commerce, Karnataka University, Dharwad. pursuing my PhD. I am in second year and my research area is entrepreneurship, and I have chosen my topic as emerging sustainable development goals and rural entrepreneurship, a study of Kittur, Karnataka. Thank you. Good morning everybody. I am Sindhu Ishwar Hegde, Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, Karnataka University, Dharwad, doing the research under the guidance of Professor A.S. Shiraj Shetty sir.
Hello everyone, myself Tejashwini Talwar, Department of Economics, Karnataka University, Dharwad. My research area is environmental economics. We are freshers. Thank you.
Good morning all. Myself Vidyasri Teli, Department of Economics. I am coming from Karnataka University, Dharwad, under the guidance of Manoj Jodi sir. I am also fresher.
Everyone, namaskara. I am Shweta Neelanagar, student of economics, PhD scholar, CMDR, Dharwad.
Good morning everyone. Myself Jayashree Jayarati, research scholar, Department of Economics, Karnataka State Akamari University, under the guidance of Professor D.M.
Good morning everyone. I am Girija Navaniman, Department of Economics, Karnataka State Akamari Women University, Vijaypur, under the guidance of Dr. R.B. Kaljetti. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Anushri. I am working as a research assistant under Central Research.
Good morning sir. Myself Raina Patil, recently completed my PhD under the guidance of Dr. E.R. Kulkarni sir, and joined here as a research consultant under SV Hungary Medicine.
So myself, Dr. Ravindra Patil. Presently, I am working in a research assistant in this institute.
My name is Kapil Pumnabade. I am basically from Bidar. I am now doing my PhD in Central University of Karnataka under Baswaraj Soman Medicine.
Niresh H, Economics Department in KUD, and under the guidance of A.R. Kulkarni sir, CMDL, the Economics Department.
Good morning everyone. Myself Gujarat SP, Department of Economics, Research Scholar, under the guidance of Manoj Jodi sir. My specialization area environmental economics.
Myself, Dr. B.P. Manakatti, faculty, working in Government Degree College, Siemens College, Gaza, Department of Economics.
Thank you very much for our introduction. Now I request our chief guest for the inaugural address.
Very good morning to you all. It's a great pleasure, and before that, I respect our Honorable Director, Basav Prabhu Jirli, Director of CMDR, and all the faculty members, as well as the coordinator of the course, Sidhu Anugudimat, and other members of CMDR, as well as the dear participants. So now this is a unique occasion. We have been conducting the courses, training programs, especially on research methodology, and sometimes you know that teachers are trained with the orientation freshers as well as to update the knowledge. They are given the refresher courses in their respective subjects. So training is a continuous process. Training is required in order to update our knowledge, our skill and information in the concerned fields. So as you know, whenever we are having our vehicles, like we have to send our vehicles for the service once or twice in a year in order to run smoothly. Similarly, in order to run smoothly in our profession, we need to get trained and we have to get updated with the information. So that's why these training programs are the service centers for the human beings and the human brains. Human brains are trained here in such workshops. So that is one kind of thing. When you were introducing, most of you, the majority is from economics, next to that commerce, and hardly one is from education, and some developmental studies, long 2 or 3 are there, and okay, nobody is there from the sociology, psychology, management, Anyway, these are all coming under social science. CMDR is basically focusing on social science, no doubt about it. But at the same time, what we are interested to know is how to go about. This is like, he is telling that the tools which we are using in order to make our research more valid, more reliable, more effective and efficient. See, when we are talking about the research as such, and there are various disciplines, all these disciplines are classified as science, and under the science, again basic science, life science and sub-branches are there. When we come to the other side, the social science. The social science is a very important area according to me. Basic science, you can do the research in a controlled room or in a laboratory. Definitely you can achieve 7% accuracy over there because you have a control over on your independent variables and other variables. As a research student, you know that what are the variables, how you have to allow them to operate and not to operate also in order to get the good results. So that is there. In case of science, you take chemistry, physics, zoology, botany, whatever it is. What they do? They do the research in a controlled room. It means they control so many things in the laboratory, they add something and find out the results. But here the control in social science is very, very, very difficult. You cannot control. You have to stop the life if you want to control. Life is a running process. It is a river which is flowing. You cannot control it. So in the running river, you have to do the research. In running life, you have to do the research. You cannot control anything. So the researcher has limited control over the influencing factors on the dependent variable on which you are interested to make a research. So that is one thing always you have to keep in mind, whether it is law, commerce, economics or sociology, psychology, whatever it is. Especially in the field of psychology, when we are talking about the human behavior, it is very, very difficult because if you want to study the motivation, there are so many factors which are influencing the motivation. Hunger is the need. So the person who is feeling very much hungry, if you conduct an experiment on him, you are not able to get any good results. The expected type of results. So that way, you need to understand how you have to make your research design very well designed. That is a good design. When we are talking about the research design itself is a chapter in RM. I think almost all of you have studied that. It starts with how to formulate the problem, and from problem, it is before the problem, you have to start with the objectives, aims of the research. What's your aim? Why you are doing? So for what sake you are doing? On whom you are doing? So all that kind of objective will come. From the objective, you are raising the research questions. So there is a kind of sequence in research. You cannot do the research in a haphazard manner, isn't it? So one scientific back of mind or bent of mind, if you are having, things will open for you. Basically, you should be ready. You should have that scientific attitude to accept the things as they are. You should not speak to the facts. You have to allow the facts to speak. That is the main nature what we have to develop within the researcher. So, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆಯೋ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಅದು ನೀವು ಒಪ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. It means you are not diluting or changing. If you start diluting or changing or modifying, then the whole research goes in a different way. So allow the facts to speak to you, then analyze it and have a scientific approach. Then you are able to analyze it properly and bring out something new out of it. See, in the olden days, actually, during King's time, the research was also taking place. It is not a new concept for us. Those who wanted to implement something newly, definitely they have to go to field, observe the things, come out with some observation facts, and then, present before the king. And for that purpose, some people were meant. And those people, they used to go to the field, collect the information, and just analyze it in their own way and present it before the king. So during that time also it was taking place. But when scientific approach touched this kind of research, the things are going in a different way. So now what we are trying to say is, one is objective and raising the research questions, then what? The raised research questions definitely helping you to formulate the hypothesis. Now hypothesis formulation is a very, very important thing. Like, how do you formulate the hypothesis? For that, he told that review of literature is very important. Once you are clear about your research question and research title, some of you mentioned about your research title. Once the research title is there, it's very much cognizant in your mind, then definitely the whole flow chart will be there ready in your mind. Flow chart, plan will be there. Because, you know, the good researcher is able to have the plan in the mind in an abstract manner just by looking at the title of the research. That should be the readiness of the researcher. So for that you need to do a lot of background work. It is not only just sitting in the library, because for the social scientist, not sitting in the library is enough, but observing things very keenly with the scientific back of mind in the society, what is happening. That's very important. So taking some research problem which has nothing to do with the research, with the present time, it is of no use. So now what are the current trends, what are the current issues, what is required, how you can deal with the social problems, how you can vibrate the social changes, and also how you can contribute to bring innovation or to add up new things for the promotion of the society, for the healthy society, we can say. So for the well-being of the society, think in that way and select the problem, not just going and sitting in the library and coming out with one problem. That doesn't help you. So always be in touch with the current issues and then decide the problem. Go to library, search the kind of things, whatever the literature that is available, and then you can have your own problem. Then deducing the hypothesis is the next kind of thing. What is this deduction of the hypothesis? Almost some of you have completed your research and some of you are new to research, just in the first stage, and some are in the middle and some are in the end. Whatever it is, you have two types of hypothesis: null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis. Especially in case of psychology, what we do is, and we train the students in such a way that when to go for the null hypothesis, when to go for the alternative hypothesis. You cannot simply formulate the hypothesis as you wish. There is again a scientific way when to go for the null, when to go for the alternative hypothesis. For that, especially the extensive review of literature is quite helpful for you. You need to go and dig the information. What are the things which are being conducted? And please don't take it for granted that whatever that has been already given in the literature is 100% true. No. That is also, we don't know, even in science also, those who got Nobel Prizes for the invention of certain things, after some days it has been proved that it is not so, it is like this. So why, when it is there in science, why not in social science? Social science is ever changing, isn't it? Whatever that was true yesterday may not be true today. And we have to have a plan for the future also, having the information from the back, living in the present. So we have to get connected, living in the present with the past and future. That's a great responsibility on the shoulder of the social scientist. And we need to understand how to formulate the hypothesis. Once the hypotheses are formulated, they are directing your further research, route or the road, we can say. Then after that, of course, the methodology, as I said, it is a very important part. It is just not providing the skeleton, and it is your job is just going on filling the information. The skeleton should be, it is an anatomy of research. Methodology is providing the anatomy. Physiology is nothing but whatever you do and fill it. So the whole human being, when you are talking about the anatomy first and then physiology, neurology, all other aspects, together the human being is considered and he becomes valuable. Similarly, your research, the methodology being the anatomy, it has to give the good structure. Without having a good structure, good method, good route map, you are not able to give anything in an effective manner. So once you are ready with a hypothesis, then see, thesis. Before the thesis, getting it ready, you are hypothesizing that way. So you are ultimately ending with a thesis in your hand. So the thesis depends upon what type of hypothesis you are formulating. That's why I am highlighting and stressing more and more on hypothesis. Once it is ready, then what's your job? Next, collect the data. So what method you are following? You are using some measures how to collect the data, primary data, secondary data, and in some cases you have to go for the primary data. When you have to go for the primary data, what kind of tool is to be used? That's a major question. Are there any ready-made tools available readily for you to collect the data? Or not? If it is not, if you are the first person to explore that information in that area, then you need to have your own tool. Tool development is a tedious task, Herculean task, and it is not that easy. But at the same time, you will have a kind of satisfaction for contributing a best tool to the research. So some time back, actually, research area, experts in the research area, they used to tell even the tool development itself is to be considered as work for the PhD. That way, some PhDs were awarded in the earlier stage for the tool development itself. But now we say that along with the tool development, you need to do something apart from that. That's one thing what we have noticed in the research. Once the tools are available, okay, you have to go for the analysis. What kind of analysis? Whether your data is fit for parametric or non-parametric. Whether it is normally distributed or skewed distribution. That's another kind of thing. And of course, in the philosophy of measurement, there are two prevailing philosophies, and I used to tell always, one is German innovation and the other one is American innovation. Germans always believe in quality, not in quantity. But Americans always believe in quantity. And for them, how much is the important, and for these Germans, why it is so, how it has happened. So that questions they keep on asking. It means what I am trying to say is, for the Americans, they want to quantify the things. If anything exists, it exists in some quantity. If it exists in some quantity, it can be measured. This is Thorndike's dictum. It is called Thorndike's dictum. You exist, I exist, society exists, our behavior exists, all our facts are existing. If they are existing in some quantity. Why not they are measured? It is possible for us to measure. So human behavior, when you are observing outwardly something is coming in the form of behavior, in the back the thoughts are there, cognitions are there, emotions are there, and leading to the actions. So those things which are hidden within the individual also can be measured. So this is what we believe in psychology. Whether it is in economics or commerce, whatever it is, things are existing, happened things are to be measured. So for the measurement, the quantifying, quantitative analysis. So that is one approach what you are following. The other one is, certain things cannot be measured. See, for example, however the psychologists are telling that emotions can be measured, but it will be very fine, it will be very effective when you explain how you felt. So the explanation is nothing but it is a qualitative analysis. It's feeling and emotions on other senses or sensory impressions, whatever it is. If you explain how you felt during that time, the quality matters a lot. So it's a qualitative analysis. So whether you are going to introduce qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis, It all depends upon the nature of data, what you are collecting and what is your objective. That is one kind of thing. Then coming to after collection of data and analysis, there are so many tools. In those days we didn't have any tool. We used to do it manually. That's why we became perfect. And I made my students, before going for the SPSS, let them take some small data of 40 to 50 and work out the parametric and non-parametric manually, so that they are able to understand whatever that process involved in it, and the interpretation becomes easier. Because when you say ANOVA, analysis of variance, SPSS is there, no doubt. T-test, SPSS is there. He said average and range, everything you can do. To start with a small thing to the highest complicated analysis, multivariate analysis, what we are talking today. But smallest things you can do it with the help of calculator. And for the huge data, definitely you need all that packages in order to do the analysis very quickly and effectively. The point here is actually, when one simple example I will take for you. Analysis of variance. It requires minimum 3 or more than 3 groups on one variable, how they are differing. That is our kind of thing. We are interested how group A, B, C are differing as far as some quality or some attribute is concerned. So then what you do, you feed the data and then get the result in the form of F ratio. It is also called as F test. And based upon the F ratio obtained, whether it is significant or not significant, the machine only gives, and you need not refer to the table value. We used to refer to the table value and all that kind of thing, 0.05, 0.001, 0.01, and at a different level of significance. But point here is, what I am trying to say is, when you do it manually, what is that process involved in it? See, there are two things we need to observe in it. One is between group variance and within group variance, how together that is influencing on the dependent variable can be analyzed with the analysis of variance. See, if within group variance is more, then you are allowing the error factor to operate on the dependent variable. Where if the between group variance is more, then definitely the design is good. It means the treatment what you have given for the groups is differing, that is resulting on the dependent variable. So this you are able to understand. Of course, F ratio is nothing but it can be obtained by giving F equal to MSB divided by MSW. Mean squares between the samples divided by mean squares within the sample. Mean squares within sample is always error variance. If it is smaller, F ratio will be higher. If error variance is higher, MSB is lesser, then F ratio is less. Means there is no difference. So these are the kinds of simple things, but when you do it manually, you are able to understand. Then your thing is not stopping at this level. F ratio tells only whether they are differing or not. But you want to go further. How A is differing from B? How A is differing from C? How B is differing from C? So internal variance also can be obtained with a post hoc test. So these kinds of things should be there in the mind. It is not just applying the techniques manually and simply technically or mechanically, I can say, mechanically, and results are coming, writing the report, submitting. No, that should not be your attitude. Please try to understand right from the beginning what problem I should take and how it is to be done in a valid manner, in a reliable way, and how the results are to be brought out, and the results which you have brought out with your proper analysis, how you have to present. That is nothing but report writing. Report writing is a very essential thing, very significant aspect in research, because you have done a lot of work. If you are not bringing the things in a effective manner, whole thing goes out. So it is a skill. What you have to do is, from the first chapter to the last chapter, what things are to be included, highlighted, and what things are to be excluded. You are not supposed to include everything in that. Only main things are to be brought out. And tabulation is one thing, graphs, graphical representation. So all these things, nowadays you have all techniques, you can easily get the graphs and tables, but in those days it was very difficult. We were trained by our guides so well, and initially also I trained my students manually, then now things have become easy. And after report writing, what next? Of course, at the end you are drawing the conclusions, and you are writing that social implications, in what way it is beneficial. You have done research not to add one thesis to the library. It is not adding one thesis to your institution library, but you are contributing for the development and well-being of the society. That is the most important, whatever it is. It doesn't require higher IQ. IQ is not much required. Higher IQ is not much required. It is only dedication, commitment and interest, inquisitiveness. Throughout the research, you are able to contribute something. With the average IQ, I tell you, you can contribute a lot. But for that, you need to have higher emotional quotient, not higher IQ, higher emotional quotient, higher social quotient, higher spiritual quotient also. With these kinds of multiple quotients, you are able to do some effective research. See, unless and until you have spiritual touch, what I say is, spirituality is not sitting before the God and praying and offering puja. No. Whatever the work you do, if you do it sincerely, that becomes puja for that particular field. That is the spirituality, what I say. So, following everything with the dharma, dharma is sound research methodology, and then leaving it to the society. So, policy makers should be on their toes to make use of your results. So, that is the end of your research. It means whatever you do, it should not go in waste. It should help the society to, benefit or to bring some modifications. Of course, once I am a fan of Dr. B.M. Hegde. When he was traveling from India to London, then one person was sitting beside him. This person was always busy in writing. B.M. Hegde was busy in writing, and another person who was sitting just beside him was watching him, and he started the conversation with this doctor. It seems that you are a doctor. You are going where? He said, I am going to London for some hospital visit. Then what are the activities you are taking? He said, these are the kinds of things. I am more interested in these Indian medicines and all indigenous kind of help to the public. Then that person got interested. The moment both of them returned back, he finished his work, the stranger, this person also finished his work. Then both of them, they returned back. The other person had taken the address and number of this doctor. One fine day, he gets the call to come to Ahmedabad. And for what you know, actually, there was some social problem in Gujarat, because more neonatal deaths were taking place, and difficulties in the delivery process, so many things were there for the women. And this person invited this doctor, and the moment the doctor came, everybody was ready to invite him, and they took him to the boardroom like this, and they discussed over the matter why this neonatal death is taking place. All that discussion took place, and then this doctor suggested to go for giving nutrition, very nutritious food for the pregnant ladies, and this is to be provided for those who are not able to afford these kind of things. And they started in their state, and end result is neonatal death rate came down. So much it came down. This is none other than our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. So he who invited this B.M. Hegde, and he implemented this scheme in Gujarat, and they solved the problem. So like this, I just quoted one example. Like this, there are so many examples in society. You should be able to contribute to make our society more healthy, and our youngsters should grow in a healthier manner, because whatever we learn, we are passing on to you. You have to pass on to the next generation. So this is a continuous process. Let the research be more effective. See, especially there are so many things to talk and discuss, especially in the field of psychology. We have so many methods which are implemented. He has given me 2 sessions. That time when I come over there, I will talk more about those kinds of things. And for the inaugural, I felt this is enough. Otherwise, this itself will become one session for you. So I don't want that kind of thing, because the other resource persons are waiting for you to, impart the information to you. So with this, I wish this 3 weeks training program on RM, let it be effective, useful and fruitful. Thank you. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much, Madam, for your insightful inaugural address. Madam has told entire research how it can be done, starting from identification of the problem, review of literature, identification of research gaps, objectives, hypotheses, and then tools, techniques which can be used, and how those can be used, and then how the report can be written, and then the importance of that your research report. That is, they should not be had only for you, Doctor of Philosophy, and should not add only another book to the library of the institute or university. It should contribute for the welfare of the society. The main purpose of the research is to work for the welfare of the society. That is the crux, and he has inspired us to do more scientific and relevant new kind of research. Thank you very much, Madam, for your insightful address. Now I request our Director, Professor Prabhu Jirli, who is the President of today's inaugural function, for his inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sidhu. At the outset, I must congratulate Dr. Sidhu and his entire team for taking all the pains to organize this 3 weeks program, of which 2 weeks will be offline and 1 week will be online. This is a new experiment that CMDR is doing, because there used to be only 14 days program earlier. So this time we have added 1 more week, but without any financial burden on the institution, so that we made it online, because the ultimate beneficiaries are the participants. So when you apply for any positions or for promotions and all, 3 weeks such programs definitely carry higher points, 20 points as per UGC norms. Maybe there will be some modifications in the days to come, but as on date it is 20 points. If it is less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks like that, you will get only 10 points. So with 1 additional week, so you will be earning 10 more additional points. So with this, and this is an experiment, so it solely depends on your active participation and how you are going to take it. Number 1. Then most respected Professor Vijayalakshmi Aminbai Madam, 2 things need to be told about Madam, that she is the former Dean of Science, Faculty of Social Science, Karnataka University, Dharwad, and more importantly, Madam is the member of the Governing Council of CMDR also. She is guiding us in many capacities, here as a teacher, but there as a policy maker. So the institution is the real beneficiary of the experiences of the Madam. Then coming to, and I welcome all the participants coming from different places. Some of you are from Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and different districts of Karnataka. To this, this is known as the capital of knowledge for Karnataka, we can say, one of the educational hub of Karnataka. So, and Dharwad has many beauties, so you will be enjoying all those in the days to come. 15 days, 14 days will be in Dharwad. Definitely you take the best from Dharwad. Now coming to the today's topic of discussion. Actually I came with some shade by noting some points. Majority of the points Madam has already dealt with. So very few things are left with me, but still I will make my best possible effort. So we said it is the training program on using modern tools. Don't you think that the term modern tools itself is relative in nature? For those who are even getting familiar with the Excel, so SPSS is a modern tool. For those of you who are aware of SPSS, R and SysTat may be the modern tool. And those of you who are aware of SysTat or R or other thing, statistical analytical systems is like another thing, ERP models of that. So that is the modern tool. For data collection process, manual process that we are all aware of, Google Form is another platform. So over and above that, now we have the Kobo toolbox. So it's all relative term. So we cannot fix it. So that is why we say that social science researchers lack this subjectivity. Influence of culture is always there on the social science research issues. Whatever, because the unit of study in social science is, who is that? Which unit we study? No. In social science research, what is the unit of study? For example, for a doctor, human being is the unit of study, and he studies it and he treats it. For a society. Can you be more specific? Family. Can you be?
Human being.
Ultimately, it is the individual human being. And the group of human being becomes maybe family, community, society, all those things, isn't it? The thing, because Madam is an expert in that is her specialization, I am intervening there. Human mind is highly dynamic in nature. That keeps on changing from every moment to moment. And you, being a social scientist, you have the challenge to study that human mind. Social sciences are also called as the behavioral sciences, where we are focusing more on the behavioral aspect. So this is one of the most challenging aspects. The response that we get is having certain amount of bias all the time. Maybe with my cultural background, with my educational background, maybe I like it, maybe I dislike it. Number of things are there. That's why we say that 2 plus 2 is not always 4 in case of social sciences. In mathematical sciences, in physical sciences, in chemical sciences it is, but not in social sciences. The reason behind that is this one. Because there is always a set of bias that we come across. And human behavior is highly unpredictable in nature. We are all aware of that. We all behave in that way. Do you agree with me? Are we predictable or unpredictable? Highly unpredictable. We don't know what kind of response that we are going to give for a particular stimulus. That even though all of you are getting the same stimulus, but the response is going to be something different from all of us. So, and we being the social scientists, we are studying that. So this is another important thing. Then, generalization is very, very difficult in case of social sciences. Even though we have number of mechanisms, tools, methodologies, obviously. For example, being a student of agriculture, we regularly interact with the farmers. Nowadays, we come across number of farmers with higher education but lower income. But there are farmers with lower education but higher level of income. It is not true only in case of agriculture, even if you come to industrial sector also. Most of the business people, so they are untouchable, many of them. But if you look into their income, they employ MBAs, they employ doctorates, but their education is minimum. So, can we have that perfect relationship between education and income? Only with higher education I can get higher income, or vice versa. So, such kind of generalization is very, very difficult. To that case, I think there are a number of examples who are the school dropouts but become multimillionaires. Okay, that is another aspect. Then, this point already Madam has already shared with you. It is very difficult to quantify these abstract concepts. For example, maybe happiness, power, knowledge, skill, attitude. We have the scales for that. We can measure it to a certain extent, but it is very, very difficult because, for example, we quantify the knowledge of the farmers to what extent that they are aware of. But is it that is fixed? In the morning he said that, are you aware of this variety? He says no. But by the evening he becomes aware of them. His knowledge is changed. I cannot go for that. Then, this point is also already discussed, that is lack of control over the variables. We don't have any control over the variables being a social scientist. That's why our job becomes more challenging here. So, with these contexts, so if we depend more on the technological tools, especially the over-reliance on these tools, so that may take our research into different directions. So, how it is going to change, the perspective is going to change. Let me give one example. I hope many of you might have received this kind of messages or in your social media, maybe WhatsApp or anything. How the terminology changes for money. Some of you or many of you might have received that. When I pay the same money in the temple, it becomes donation. We call in Kannada it is kanike. But as soon as I come out of the temple and pay to somebody who is sitting in a queue, it becomes bhiksha. Money is common. When I pay to the government, it becomes tax. Many of you are from commerce background. Then, when I pay to the government officer, it becomes bribe to get my work done. When I get it for the job that I am doing, it becomes salary. But what madam is getting is pension. When I pay it in the hotel, it becomes bill. When I pay to my labor who is working with me, he is also rendering his services like me. We call it as a wage. When I pay to my house owner, it becomes rent. And when I pay it in the court of law, it is called as fine. When I pay to my relatives, it may be considered as gift or loan. So now you see, the core issue is money, but its terminology is changing depending on the context. So this is why I said the culture plays the dominant role. So how we are understanding these basic issues. The basic beauty, the entire beauty of the social science research is observation. Dr. Sidhu might be differing with my opinion that, sir, we being the economist, we work on secondary data, so where I should observe, what I should observe. So because he is an expert, the state or the national level expert on secondary data and its analysis, that we can say, yes, I do agree with that. But observation is very, very essential in case of social sciences. So when we say that observation, is it limited only to the physical, chemical or the biological sciences? Yes, they also take observations. But the moment I say observation, the first and foremost thing that comes to my mind is the microscope. Can I also have that microscopic view of the society, the behavior of the individual? Then only I can interpret the findings in its real sense. So there was most discussed finding of the then maybe the Planning Commission few years back, maybe 2 decades back or so. Dr. Mohammed Singh Ahluwalia, as a Deputy Chairman of Planning Commission, they gave a standard that if you are earning 26 rupees per day, you cannot be called as below poverty line. So it was the national as well as international level discussion. So what was the basic thing that was lacking there? The concern that society, the observation, practically, yes, theoretically, with the statistics, with the data, they are proving that. But at the ground level, does it hold good? So this is the most challenging task. This is the most challenging task. Another thing, being a student of agriculture, I want to bring to your notice that again it is having relationship with the technology, the psychology. Ultimately, it is the behavioral aspect. We being the students of agriculture, for example, I said, as a medical professional who treats the patients directly, I can say, doctor, I have pain here, there, whatever it is. I can explain all the symptoms. So then, doctor comes to a conclusion with the help of tests and all those things. But we being the students of agriculture, we are here to treat the plants, the crops. But can I treat it directly? It's not possible. So then, who is the channel there? The farmer. The farmer is going to give me the symptoms. Sir, my crop is suffering with this, leaves are becoming yellow, soil is becoming like this, it's not flowering, or flowers are dropping, number of symptoms that he keeps on telling us. And what I do? I suggest them certain medicines and the method of application and send him. But what he does, how he understands that, now you see the role of social sciences here. How he understands that, how he applies that. If it is working well, it's good. Otherwise, the entire blame comes on. Now you see the gap, the challenge for the social sciences. Because in agriculture also we have number of disciplines. Entomologists will escape, sir, I have suggested the medicine. Pathologists will say, sir, I have suggested the fungicides. But the ultimate responsibility comes from the extension professionals who are working at the field, who are working with the farmers. So, in the categories of science, we call them as the social scientists. So, this is what is the biggest challenge the social science is going to face. So, that is why observation plays the dominant role here. So, when we are talking of this behavior, so just I would like to quote two important things here. We are bound to commit certain mistakes. We are bound to commit certain mistakes. But are we ready to accept our own mistakes? The lawyer says no, sir, never. So let me quote one saint, Governor Gopal Das. What he says is, गलती करना प्रकृति है, गलती मानना संस्कृति है, गलती नहीं मानना विकृति है, गलती मानकर सुधार करना प्रगति है, गलती मानकर सुधार के रास्ते पर चलना प्रगति है. So with the same line, Kabir Das has given a beautiful doha. I hope all of you are familiar with Kabir ji ka doha. Kabir ji says, बुरा देखकर मैं चला. I hope you understand this. It is having the Bhojpuri touch, which is the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. Let me say a few things about Kabir Das ji. So, his birthplace is known as Varanasi, and there is a place in Varanasi. That place is known as Kabir Prakatya Sthal. Means he did not take birth, but he was found there. Kabir Das was found there. There is a small lake, and one fine morning, so he was floating in the water in that pond. So one family which was visiting that place, living nearby that place, they were not having kids, and they were very happy, and they started nurturing that child, and ultimately he became Kabir Das. Then the most interesting part is he started worshipping God in his own way. So some people claim that he is an Hindu, some people claim that he is a Muslim. That controversy went on, but he never thought about that. He went on with his knowledge and all. There is perception that if you die in Kashi, you will directly go to heaven. वहाँ सीढ़ी लगा हुआ सीधा ऊपर जाने के लिए. This is what is the belief. Then he challenges the God, Kabir Das. He says, जिंदगी भर मैंने तुम्हारी प्रार्थना की है, जिंदगी भर मैंने तुम्हारी सेवा किया है, अगर यहीं मर के हमको स्वर्ग प्राप्ति करना है तो मुझे ऐसे स्वर्ग नहीं चाहिए. He challenges God and he goes to a place near Basti district. वहाँ ये मान्यता है कि if you die there, definitely will go to Narak. He goes and stays there during his final days. Then after his death, his body was brought to again Varanasi. There was a dispute between Hindu groups and Muslim groups. He should be buried as per Hindu traditions, and the Muslim group says that it is he is our man and we will take care of that, like that. This thing was going on. So then the elders of both the communities, they say that. So let the body be here. So we will go there. There is a sitting meeting hall. We will decide and we will come back. Then we will take the decision. And wahi body chhodkar, they go to that meeting place and they come with a decision. We don't know what was that decision, but by the time all the elder people who came to that particular place where the body was kept, so body was not there. So only few malike phool ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಚಮೇಲಿ ka phool. In Hindi they call it chameli. Jasmine flowers were there. Only jasmine flowers were there. There was no body. So even today, that particular place is known as Kabir Chauraha in Varanasi. Even today that place is there. In his respect, so it is known as Kabir Chauraha. He says, बुरा देखकर मैं चला, बुरा न मिला कोई. I wanted to search some bad qualities in the people, but I didn't get anything. जो मन देखा अपना, तो मुझसे बुरा न कोई. When I started introspecting myself, then I felt that the most worst person was myself. I was having all the bad qualities, but I was making an effort to search bad qualities in others. So this is the extent of observation that a social scientist should have. So with this, let us try to take the nectar from all the experts who are coming over here to share their expertise with you all. And with that, let us move on the path of Pragati. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful talk on as a presidential remark. Sir has also told many things about research, along with the experiences of field experience and then data, and then with Kabir's Doha also he has told many things. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. Narayana Bilava, Federal Member CMDR, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of CMDR, it is my pleasure and honor to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to this special occasion of the inauguration of the 3-week training program on use of modern tools in the social science research. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed chair guest and also GC member of CMDR, Professor Vijay Lakshmi A. Amit Babi, for gracing this event with our presence and delivering in the insightful inauguration address. Madam, your word have truly set the tone of this program and have been source of the great insight to all of us. Thank you, madam. I extend my deep appreciation to Professor Basaprabhu Jirli, Director CMDR, for his presidential remarks and his constant support and guidance in organizing this training program. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Mr. V.T. Ungun, Registrar CMDR. Today he is absent, but for his continuous support towards the training program, thanks to him. A special thanks to Dr. S.V. Hangodimat for the warm welcome and introduction to the program, and also to Dr. Brahmanandan for the introducing our distinguished guest. Your effort in setting up the stage for this event are truly commendable. Thank you, sir. I would like to express my gratitude to organizing team, faculty members CMDR, Dr. Jay Prabhakar, Dr. Arun Kumar Kulkarni, and Dr. Dundappa, and all staff members of the CMDR for their dedication and hard work behind of the scenes, ensuring seamless execution of this program. Your efforts are deeply appreciated. And also I thank to this opportunity to thank all the participants for their interest and the active involvement. Your presence boosts huge value to this initiative. We look forward to the engaging discussion and the enriching learning experience in the coming weeks. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.
Now we have one photo session, then afterwards we have lunch, then like 2:15 will. Yes, 1:15 is the lunch.